right, let's get things started. Oh, 10 tools that every homeowner must own, must have, and must know where they are in their house at all or most of the time. So let's dive into it. All right, guys, so today I am going to run through, oops, that's not good. Can we cut that part out? Okay, so I'm kind of going to go through a bunch of tools. As you can see, I have a medley of them here on the table. I do a lot of different type of general contracting work, home renovations, home service specialist, they call me, and I tell people I'm called. But for now, we're going to go through and dive into what tools we need. First things first, let's get this out of the way. We don't need this. You don't need a giant Stihl chainsaw. It's not useful for everyday homeowners to have, especially if you live in an apartment or something like that. You don't need that. So let's get that one out of the way right away. You don't need a $650 Milwaukee brad nailer for trim. Nice to have. Yeah. All right, we got something in here that might be useful. Let's find it. All right, here we go. All right, a drill. Put a battery on that so that doesn't fall over. A drill and a impact driver. Boom. So these are the first two. Let's get some of these things out of the way so we can see what these look like. You have your drill for drilling holes. You have your impact driver for driving screws or bolts in some cases. Excuse me. Bolts in some cases into the holes that you have made with your drill. Some people use your drill as an impact. That is not the case. It's not as efficient as an impact driver. Get these two. I'm a big Milwaukee fan, if you couldn't tell, but if I were you, I would look and see what most contractors use and try to base your decisions off of what tool brand might work. If you see a lot of DeWalt ones or Makita ones, or if you want to never be respected on a job site, or even not on a job site but by your wife, feel free to get Ryobi. It's the very light key lime type white green, sorry. I would go for that. Drill, impact driver. Awesome. Love Milwaukee. I like the 5 amps. You can get a drill set. I just bought one for a friend for less than $300. Both of these, each with a battery and a charger. Awesome. So let's get that out of the way. Next thing, basic hand tools. Okay, your basic hand tools. So we're not going to need, we might need this later. I take this out. That was a nice birthday present. All right, let's put that out of the way. Okay, where were we? So, basic hand tools. Basic hand tools in my mind are anything that you use as a tool that's not, or where it might not be appropriate to use a drill or an impact driver or something like that, whether it be to tighten things, to cut things, to screw things in, drill holes. So I like to look at it as you have a screwdriver set where you have each bit or each screwdriver. You can get either a complete set of individual ones, or you can get this one that I have that's super old. I think I got this before the coronavirus was a thing. So that was like 2019. Yeah, like about 6 good years ago I got this, which it's nice because this also, if you notice, the bits with these ones fit nicely and click in our impact driver. So that's super cool. That's why I really like those ones. Let's put that down. Screwdriver set, each head. You want to change a lock or a door handle in your building or your house. You want to change, really anything. Like, a lot of things are just nuts and bolts and screws, and it's a lot easier than people think. But definitely having one of these is handy with each. You never know when a flathead or anything can be useful. So that X-Acto knife for cutting and redoing your silicone, which we can get into in a second. Needle nose pliers, channel locks, wire cutters for like if you want to replace like a simple light fixture, maybe you want a fan installed or something and you don't want to spend X amount of money or don't know how much or it's going to cost, or don't want to honestly try to find somebody, because that's a lot of the time the hard part is finding somebody capable to do it who's not going to rip you off. So all that to be said, also have a measuring tape. Always good. You never know to measure center from walls when you're hanging up cabinets or mirrors or stuff like that, doing your basic stuff. That's a super important thing to have. Moving on. Some form of, it can either be corded or battery saw. I just got this one. I've still yet to use it because I got it literally 3-4 days ago. And I was, I've yet to do any major demo work with it, but some form of saw that can just cut things like old boards or rotted boards that you maybe don't want to use a hammer for or anything like that. Super, super awesome to have one of these. Speaking of which, a hammer. There's claw hammers, which are super good for like ripping things out. There's framing hammers, which are good for like going underneath boards, lifting them up, moving pieces. They're very thin and they're heavy at the top, so they're meant to be hit hard with not as much force of a swing. So it still gets the job done. So let's put that over there. Let's tuck this away, and let's move on. Crescent wrench, channel locks, the caulking gun, and the sink, drain. Super good and useful tools to have. Everybody should have these ones when it comes to your everyday plumbing at your own house. This specifically, you can remove and replace your silicone around your bathtub and around your sink, at the top of your vanity, countertop, whatever. If you feel it's getting too dirty, or maybe you live in a muggier place, so you have a bit more, not mold, but dirt build up, so you get that mold looking stuff on, the silicone around your bathtub and sinks. This is perfect. You can scrape it off with this and then reapply it with your caulking gun. Anytime you have a drain, shower drain, maybe you live with a woman, if you're ever so lucky, or maybe you are a woman and you just want to know how to better be more self-sufficient. This is a major good tool because, as you can imagine, a lot of hair goes down the drain. So that happens often, and if you're not a fan of pouring a bunch of hot boiling water down because you find that doesn't work, or you don't want to buy a Drano because that rarely works as well and it's a bit more expensive than it should be, getting one of these is perfect. It goes down, you spin it on the drill, it clicks and it catches on a lot of hair and debris in there, and then what it does is it pulls it up, and as you can see, mine's super gross because I use it, once a week. So that's a big one I think people need to have, and without it, we're looking at a lot of major issues and just build up, and then you're always going to have sink clogging issues, and that just goes down all the way. It pulls out everything and it pushes and just gets rid of all the debris, and then just gets it all out, and it enables to wash down. You have a nice better flow of water through your kitchen sink, bathroom sink, and I even use it for shower. It's good for all three of those sinks, or drains, and not really much for toilet. That's a different type of snake altogether. And that's kind of where I use that. Silicone gun, super good. Measuring tape, hand tools. On to the next thing. Socket set. Super important. Socket set. Figuring out exactly what you need. And now, whether it be something small like this for like the basic odd time that you need to use it, or a big impact driver set because maybe you do a bunch of side work on your own vehicles, or you drill lug nuts in a lot of the times in whatever it might be. Using a socket set is perfect, and having one around is perfect for the time that you might need to hang up a TV or hang up a shelf and you want to drill a hole with the drill that you bought after watching this video, and then driving through with an impact, and then using this to tighten your lug nuts in place and your bolts in place. This way it's nice and tight and you can fasten it properly to the wall. You're not just putting in screws, because that will not work. So now that we've covered hand tools, measuring tape, socket set, your plumbing kind of necessity things to have between your silicone, your drills, your saws and stuff, your hammer, your snakes and whatnot, very, very, very important to make sure that you look and see and do your research on your own and find out what are the best tools, what are the best ways to fix it. And honestly, I can get majority of things done on job sites and around my own home, not just everybody else's home, but my own home. I get a lot done with just these handful of tools. So go back, do your own research, look and figure out what works for you, what brands you like, what your budget is. Maybe once every month or 2 months you get something you add. They're honestly not that expensive. The most expensive thing I have here is probably that drill set you saw at the beginning, which again I just bought for on sale. It was originally $269. I bought it for $225 after tax, all in. So $225 for a two batteries, a drill and an impact driver, and a charger, and a good reliable brand, because I've had mine for at least 8 years and it's been working ever since. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys. Feel free to subscribe, comment, whatever you want to do. It's free. Add in whatever nonsense tools you think might be useful that I might have missed, because I kind of just looked around and was like, this is the stuff that I wish people used more of. I would grab a plunger and show you. Actually, that's one last thing we're gonna do. It's funny because when I first thought of this idea for the video, it was because this was the tool. I was like, man, I wish people knew and everybody had one of these, because I've been called a few separate times and I've been asked to go unclog their toilet, and I've said, do you have a plunger? And they've said no. These people have no plunger, which means maybe they put in a bit of paper towel or the toilet doesn't flush properly. One pump of these bad boys and it's done, dusted. Super easy to use. Put it on, go dun dun dun. It's usually pretty good. A hack I do is I put a garbage bag over it, pop the thing through the middle, and get no water everywhere, close the lid, and or the seat at least, and then I pump it a couple times and it's usually good to go. Never had any issues past that. So I hope this was useful for you guys. I hope I wasn't all over the place. Make sure you have a good drill set, bit set, using that, basic hand tools. Again, not that much. It doesn't take up much space. Even if you have one box, like a tote or something, like one box, that toolbox even, or whatever, work bag, whatever zips up or however you want, and you just put it all in there, it'll work perfectly. You can keep everything in one kind of corner of your house or one storage area, as long as you know where it is, because if you don't know and you do need it, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So I hope this was useful for you guys. I appreciate the continued love. Let's get ourselves to 1,000 subscribers. I cannot wait. I appreciate the support every single damn day, and I cannot wait to see what kind of comments you guys have to add, and hopefully there's some tools that you guys throw in that I'm like, oh, brilliant, that's a genius idea. Let me go pick one of those up. So I appreciate it, and we'll see you again soon. Let's crush this.